and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's presentation portion of the Rensselaer County Legislature. At this particular time, we have three resolutions honoring various people and groups throughout the county. And it's always an honor and a pleasure to do that. And it's great to see those people who represent these resolutions be part of their community and providing this to the county as a whole. At this particular time, the first one is a resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Harold Dean Riley. Presentation by Ken Harrington and Peter Goebel, if he's here. And come on down. Any other legislators?
Anybody else? Come on right over here.
Howdy, sir. Right up there to the...
Right here. Speak right under my wing. Tammy?
Get up there in the picture, guys.
Oh, she's going to take pictures. Okay. Welcome. It's my pleasure as chairman of the Veterans Committee. Is this thing on? You don't need it, probably, not me. As chairman of the Veterans Committee to present this resolution that was passed last month honoring Rensselaer County veteran Harold Dean Riley. And I'll read the resolution. I think it's very appropriate. It is consistent with the duties of this legislative body to recognize the achievements of the citizens of Rensselaer County. We acknowledge with respect and admiration individuals whose bravery and dedication have been so valuable to our community. Whereas Rensselaer County owes a great debt to the men and women of our loyal armed forces who so bravely stand ready to preserve our American heritage. And whereas Harold Dean Riley was born on September 30th, 1949 in Indianapolis, Indiana, to Dolores Fulton and Harold Norton Riley. And whereas Harold enlisted in the United States Army during the Vietnam War in Indianapolis, Indiana. And whereas Harold served with the 501st Division Infantry at the rank of E4. And where during his time in the Army, Harold became a proud recipient of the Bronze Star Medal, the Purple Heart, Air Medal, Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Veterans Service Medal and Bronze Star Attachment Triple, Combat Infantryman Badge First Award, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Ribbon and Device 1960, Expert Badge and Machine Gun Bar, and Sharpshooter Badge Rifle Bar. And now therefore be it resolved that this legislative body does hereby acknowledge the sacrifices these great men and their families have made to continue to make for ideals for which this nation stands. Fully confident that his achievements and contributions will live on to serve as a legacy for all. You got that one, Harry? Now I'm on, right? So, and be it further resolved that the clerk of this legislature is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to Harold Dean Riley. And we have Peter, who is our veterans man here. Could you come up, Peter? I guess you have the ribbons that weren't presented before that we want to present to you now.
So we also have his medals to present. So, Mr. Riley, we're happy to do this, and we're glad that you allow us to honor you in this way. You can see, if you can, his Bronze Star Medal, his Purple Heart, his Combat Infantryman's Badge is on the top. His Air Medal is over here, his 2 qualification badges, and then his Army Commendation Medal, his National Defense Service Medal, and his Vietnam Service Medal. And the small ribbon is the Vietnamese Campaign Medal. So again, we appreciate your service with Company B, the 1st of the 501st Infantry with the 101st Airborne Division, and congratulations.
Congratulations. You get a picture? Hold those up. You can hold it. I want to get you in the middle. we thank you very much for your service
Thank you.
and your sacrifice. Understand. You want to say anything?
Just thank God for hand grenades.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Keep them still.
All right. Good thing he didn't have to swim with all that metal on his chest, huh? It had sunk. Goodness gracious. What an honor. That's great. Next, we have P51618, resolution commending Country True Value Hardware and Rental upon the occasion of their 40th anniversary. Presentation by Huffman, Fiacco, Grant, and Valley. Yes, and we ask that those True Value brothers come down, and Gross brothers, the whole family, bring them all down. Any extra chainsaws or anything like that, we'll take.
Squeeze in, everybody. This is a resolution commending Country True Value Hardware and Rental upon the occasion of their 40th anniversary. A community is only as great as its members who provide exemplary leadership and service, and who, through personal and professional dedication, contribute to the fabric and climate of Rensselaer County. Attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing traditions, it is the intent of this legislative body to convey its compliments to Country True Value Hardware and Rental on this great accomplishment. Whereas 3 brothers, Joe, Tony, and Nick Gross, founded Country True Value in North Greenbush in 1978. Hardware, power equipment, home improvement products, and the like were the main items sold throughout the store. And whereas, due to a quickly expanding business, the company moved a few years later to a larger building where it currently sits on the northern end of Route 4. And in 1989, a second store was opened and operates on the opposite end of Route 4. In 2004, Country True Value ventured into equipment rental industry under the Just Ask Rental label. Both locations are now fully operational rental stores, from the finest quality party and event rentals to power tools and heavy equipment. If you've had a graduation party at your house, chances are the tent and the equipment is from True Value. I know because I've rented. If you've had a small renovation on your property, chances are it was from True Value. They have it all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that in accordance with the tradition of the Rensselaer County Legislature to recognize those institutions and individuals who have contributed to the vitality of this community, it hereby commends Country True Value and it celebrates its 40th anniversary. And be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution, suitably engrossed, to Joe, Tony, and Nick Gross. We are so very fortunate to have the Gross family continue this business in our towns. They have sustained competition from big box stores directly in between their 2 stores, and in my opinion, compete with them solely on the fact that they provide the best customer service. They make you feel like they know every customer who walks in the door, they are a part of our community, and they treat you like family when you walk in the door. If you go into the store, you will see a lot of familiar faces. Typically, it's our teenage kids, neighborhood kids in the community, whether in high school or college, who you guys have employed for many, many years, and it's always good to see a familiar face, some of them my kids' friends, when you walk in the door. It's great to see that. I think they've employed kids from East Greenbush, North Greenbush, Shavel Park, Sand Lake, and the surrounding communities. They support our community in every way possible, and we're so grateful they call Rensselaer County home. To be in business for 40 years takes a family and an extended family to make that happen. And we want to offer our congratulations to Joe, Tony, and Nick, and the entire Gross family as you celebrate this milestone. Here's to 40 more years of great service to our community, and we congratulate you and thank you. Would any of the other legislators like to say anything? Well, certainly, one of you guys is going to have to say something from the family. Would you like to do that?
Say it.
Okay.
Kelly, thank you. On behalf of the entire Gross family, I just want to thank the legislator for this recognition tonight, and just kind of reminisce a little bit about the 40 years that we've been through, and I can only say without the support of all the county agencies, the cities, the towns, the villages in the county, and mostly the residents, all the department heads, without this continued support, we would have never been able to complete these 40. Again, we thank you. We're all born, raised, and all still reside in Rensselaer County. And there's no better place to do business for us guys than right here where we belong. So again, we thank everybody.
There's 3 copies if you guys want more for the rest of the family. Just let us know and we'd like to take care of it.
Thank you. Those are very nice.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you guys coming out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you very much for that presentation, Kelly, and to the Gross family. Next, we have P 56218, resolution adjourning the December 11, 2018 legislative meeting in memory of the City of Rensselaer Mayor, Honorable Daniel J. Dwyer. And I'll be doing the presentation, and I ask family and friends of Mr. Dwyer to come down here with us in front. Plenty of room. Come on up front here. Well, first I'll read the resolution. There? It is. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. The resolution reads as this. Resolution adjourning the December 11, 2018 legislative meeting in memory of the City of Rensselaer Mayor Honorable Daniel J. Dwyer. Whereas it is customary for this legislative body to pay honor and respect to a person who have had a great impact and influence on the citizens of this county during their time on this earth. It is with particular deep sadness that we conclude this evening's deliberations in memory of the Honorable Daniel J. Dwyer. And whereas as a tenant with such duties fully accordance with the long-standing tradition, it is the intent of this legislative body to express the sincerest sorrow upon the death of Daniel J. Dwyer, which occurred on Friday, the 20th day of November of the year 2018. And whereas respected and admired by all, it is the collective sense of this legislature that the life of Daniel J. Dwyer be memorialized and utilized. And whereas Dan was born in Cohoes on September 3rd, 1934, to the late Daniel and Isabella Dwyer, and whereas Dan was a graduate of St. John's Academy, class of 1952, St. Michael's College, class of 1957, where he earned a degree in business administration. And whereas after college, Dan proudly served the United States Air Force during the Korean War and as an officer and aviator. And whereas Dan was a commercial pilot for Pan Am American World Airways, retiring in 1991 after a 26-year career. Out of the many trips of on aircraft, Dan flew the Boeing 747 was his favorite. And whereas Dan served the city of Rensselaer proudly, beginning in 1963 as a member of the Civil Service Commission. I never knew that earlier. From 2002 to 2005 as chair of the Zoning Commission, and in 2005 Dan was elected the 32nd mayor of the city of Rensselaer. And whereas Dan was exceptionally represented for his constituents and had a strong love for the city of Rensselaer. There's no doubt about that. He had a strong love for our community. Whereas with his superb leadership qualities, Dan made a mark with his positive changes in the city during the time as mayor. City Hall, City Court, where we moved the former Fort Cralo School. The police station was moved to the former post office. A new North End firehouse was built. A former drugstore was renovated into the city library. Efforts to revitalize the waterfront finally came into fruition. And his fine work with the city's finances have helped achieve A+ bond rating. And whereas Dan is survived by his loving children, Colleen and Daniel, and 5 grandchildren, as well as many nieces and nephews, Dan was preceded by his loving wife of 51 years, Kathleen, and the siblings Robert, John, and Dorothy. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Rensselaer County Legislature adjourn this meeting in a moment of silent tribute in memory of Daniel J. Dwyer, for and reflect upon Dan's tenure and exemplary service, fully confident that his legacy will continue in the city of Rensselaer for many, many years to come. And be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature should transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to the family of Daniel J. Dwyer. I really got to know Dan back in 1991 when he probably retired, and I was sitting at the Common Council just after that, I think from 92, 93, and Dan pulled no punches. He would show up to the meeting and he'd let us know what he thought and how things should change and what needed to be done and who should be doing it. There was just no doubt about that. So I've always respected him for that. I've worked with Dan for a number of years, both as a party member and contrary to being a party member. But I've always respected what he had to say. We didn't always agree, but we could agree to disagree on a few things. And that was the good thing about Dan. I got to say one thing, when he became a mayor, he had a plan ahead of time, and those contributions of things that he did. And see, one of the things we forgot was the DPW garage too, which he had a big hand in, and wanting to make sure that that still stood in the neighborhood where it was for many, many, many years. So, you know, my hat's off to Dan. You know, he did a lot of things in the city that people won't even see. The infrastructure that's going on in the city of Rensselaer was above any other in the community. I sat on the Capital District Regional Planning Commission, and I still do, and one of the things that was the utmost importance for us was the oversight of changing the sewers over, okay? And the city of Rensselaer was the first out of the whole community to make sure it was done. He was ahead of what the EPA really wanted us to do, so really get done. So his leadership and his foresight was definitely admirable. And next, other than that, the only thing I can say that I really respect him for was his military time. Any time that we have a man or a woman who signs up for the military and especially Dan, and he would sit and talk to me sometimes when we talked about military, about some of the flights that he had and some of the missions he ran. It was quite intriguing. So, there was a little bit more to the man than you really knew sometimes. So with that, I just want the family and friends and the people in the city of Rensselaer to know that he was well respected, especially by me and by this legislative body. And we're going to miss Dan. Is there any legislators who would like to say anything? Family members?
I would just like to speak on behalf of my brother and I want to thank you very much for this kind gesture on your part and all of your part. It's truly an honor to be here to represent our father. He was a man of Rensselaer. He loved that city as much as my brother and I and my mom. It was his hometown. He was born and brought up in the same house, basically, that we still have to this day. And each and every one of you here, I want to thank you. My brother wants to thank you for being here, because this is a great representation of the family unit that we all have. And it's going to continue. And we're very proud of him. We truly were. You're right. He was a man that not many people knew, but my brother and I knew him well.
You're Colleen.
We knew him well.
We won't go there. Thank you very much.
I'll give you a little sample. We had a plaque that arrived in the mail. My mother opened it up, and we had no idea what it was. And he was doing combat missions for the Iraq War, because he knew the 747 and the configuration. He reconfigured it to basically have it so that all of the troops would have the military equipment that they needed, and how to get into it without anyone knowing it. And he did one of the first flights spiraling in the dark. So we never knew that until the plaque came in, and it said, "For your dedication and years of service for the Iraq War." And my mother had a heart attack and thought it was a joke, but that was my dad. He just did it and told us later. So he was a great man.
Okay, he was always holding cards back.
Always.
There's no
But
doubt
thank you
about
so
that.
much very much. We really do appreciate it, each and every one of our Rensselaer friends and family.
I do have.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Greatly appreciate it.
Hey, Junior.
Mike, I'm gonna go get the sign sheet. I'm gonna go get the sign sheet.
Thank you to Colleen and Dan Dwyer, Mayor Mooney, and Rensselaer Council and friends. Thank you very, very much. What do I do with the rest of this? At this time, there is nobody signed up to speak in the public forum, public comment section. So at this time, we'll call the meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Bendet?
Here.
Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mr. Cassell?
Here.
Ms. Doran? Present. Mr. Fiacco? Mr. Fleming?
Here.
Mr. Grant?
Present.
Mr. Grimm?
Here.
Mr. Harrington?
Present.
Ms. Hoffman? Here. Mr. Loveridge?
Here.
Mr. Patiri?
Here.
Mr. Peter?
Here.
Mr. Tessman?
Here.
Ms. Sullivan Tita? Ms. Weaver?
Here.
Mr. Wysocki?
Here.
Chairman Stammel?
Here.
18 present, 1 absent.
Invocation, Mr. Grant, please.
Lord, you make all things new. You bring hope alive in our hearts and cause our spirits to be born again. Thank you for this new year. Amen.
Mr. Griffin, pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the special meeting of December 18, 2018, and approve the minutes as printed.
So moved. Second. So moved. At this particular time, we'll move to resolutions, presentations by Jets, County Clerk. Yeah, legislative.
Presentations on file.
Communications,
On file.
reports of commissions,
On file.
departmental reports,
On file.
reports of standing committees,
On file.
local laws.
There's one tonight. I'd like to just update the attendance to 19 present.
Before we get going, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Carol Weaver and welcome her to the Rensselaer County Legislature, and we all look forward to working with you in the future, and I know you'll be a great addition to those people in Rensselaer County who are looking forward to your vote and your way of doing business. Thank you. Okay, local law.
Local law amending local law number 4 of the year 2007, local law number 6 of the year 1997, introduced by Chairman Stammel. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bendet?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Casal?
Yes.
Ms. Doran?
Aye.
Mr. Piacco?
Aye.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mr. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Loveridge?
Yes.
Mr. Patieri?
Yes.
Mr. Peter?
Yes.
Mr. Testman?
Aye.
Ms. Sullivan Tita?
Yes.
Ms. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Wysocki?
Yes.
Chairman Stammel?
Aye.
19 ayes.
P219,
P119.
or P119, I'm sorry. Yes,
Resolution honoring Catholic elementary and secondary schools, introduced by legislators Grimm, Doran, and the entire legislative body.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. So moved.
19 ayes.
P219,
P219, resolution supporting the recommendations of the New York State Drinking Water Quality Council's maximum contaminant levels in drinking water, introduced by legislators Patieri, Wysocki, and the entire legislative body.
on the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G319,
G319, resolution authorizing snowmobile trail grant agreements and amending the 2019 Rensselaer County Budget, Bureau of Economic Development and Planning, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Bailey, Bendet, and Fleming.
on the question? All in favor? Aye. So moved.
19 ayes.
G15, or G519 was tabled.
G419,
419 was tabled.
resolution authorizing purchase of Carter Pump Parts, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
G519 was tabled in special rules, right? G619,
G619, resolution authorizing maintenance and service contract for 4 Caterpillar emergency generators, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
on the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G719,
G719, resolution authorizing maintenance and service contract for 2 Cummins emergency generators, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
on the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G819,
G819, resolution authorizing purchase of MH78 tank drive chain for the primary tanks, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
on the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G919,
G919, resolution authorizing the purchase of protein matrix surfactant treatment products for the use in pump station wet wells, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1019.
G1019, resolution authorizing payment for professional services expense for special prosecutor, county attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1119.
G1119, resolution authorizing payment of claim to Stephen Sharp Esquire as court-appointed special district attorney, county attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1219.
G1219, resolution authorizing a hardware-software support agreement for telecommunication systems, Office of the Rensselaer County Sheriff, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1319.
G1319, resolution authorizing a service contract for the Rensselaer County Correctional Facility Inmate Management System, Office of the Rensselaer County Sheriff, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1419.
G1419, resolution authorizing preventative maintenance contract for emergency generator, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1519.
G1519, resolution authorizing telephone system maintenance service agreement, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1619.
G1619, resolution authorizing purchase of Capital District YMCA memberships for care coordinator clients, Department of Mental Health, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
On the question? All in favor? So,
19 ayes.
okay, there you go. G1719.
G1719, resolution authorizing sole source purchases within the 2019 budget amounts from vendors representing manufacturers of highway equipment, Highway Department, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
On the question? All in favor?
19 ayes.
G1819.
G1819, resolution authorizing contract for occupational health services, Highway Department, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G1919.
G1919, resolution amending the adopted 2018 and 2019 Rensselaer County adopted budgets and amending resolution number G15218, authorizing the purchase of driving simulator equipment, Stop DWI, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2019.
G2019, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into a non-binding letter of intent with the Capital District Youth Center, Inc., Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2119.
G2119, resolution authorizing community program grant agreements, county executive, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2219.
G2219, resolution authorizing the purchase of emergency communication equipment, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2319.
G2319, bond resolution authorizing the issuance of an additional $174,106.56 serial bonds and finance improvements of the Rensselaer County sewer system, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bendet?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Casal?
Aye.
Ms. Doran?
Aye.
Mr. Fiacco?
Aye.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mr. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington?
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman?
Aye.
Mr. Leverage?
Yes.
Mr. Patieri?
Yes.
Mr. Peter?
Yes.
Mr. Tessman?
Aye.
Ms. Sullivan Tita? Ms. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Wysocki?
Yes.
Chairman Stammel?
Aye.
19 ayes.
So moved. G2419.
G2419, resolution authorizing a contract for certified document deconstruction and recycling services, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Stammel, and Grimm.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
19 ayes.
G2519.
G2519, resolution authorizing maintenance agreements for the telecommunication systems at Flanagan Square, Department of Social Services, Probation, and Youth, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Titus.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2619.
G2619, resolution accepting opioid crisis funding, grant funding from the New York State Department of Health and amending the 2019 adopted Rensselaer County budget, Departments of Health and Mental Health, and Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Bendet, and Casal.
On the question? Aye. All in favor?
19 ayes.
Okay. Opposed? So moved. G2719.
G2719, resolution authorizing the acceptance of a grant and amending the 2018 and 2019 Rensselaer County adopted budgets, Unified Family Services, Aging, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Bailey, Peter, and Fleming.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2819.
G2819, resolution authorizing execution of a contract for paper, plastic, and associated food service items, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Stammel, and Grimm.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G2919.
G2919, resolution authorizing contract with NMS Labs for forensic toxicology laboratory services, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Bendet, Casal, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G3019.
G3019, resolution authorizing purchase of vaccines for in-house clinics, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Bendet, Casal, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G3119.
G3119, resolution authorizing acceptance of a grant from the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee and amending the adopted 2019 Rensselaer County adopted budget, Stop DWI, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G3219.
G3219, resolution authorizing contract for Live Stories for data storytelling services relating to opioid crisis funding, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Bendet, Casal, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G3319.
G3319, resolution authorizing contract with Our Wellness Collective for training relating to opioid crisis funding, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Bendet, Casal, and Weaver.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye. 19 ayes.
So moved. G3419.
G3419, resolution authorizing a contract for cleaning products and janitorial supplies, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Titus, Stammel, and Grimm.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. G3519.
G3519, resolution authorizing payment to resolve pending litigation against the county attorney, introduced by legislator Stammel.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. P3619.
P3619, resolution in memoriam of Virginia C. Marola, introduced by legislator Stammel and the entire legislative body.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. P3719.
P3719, resolution in memoriam of Wesley Brownell, introduced by legislators Patiri, Wysocki, and the entire legislative body.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
So moved. P3819.
P3819, resolution adjourning the January 8th, 2019 legislative meeting in memory of William J. Kirsch, introduced by legislator Stammel and the entire legislative body.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
19 ayes.
There's no other business other than legislator's privilege? Yes, on the question. Yes, Mr. Harrington.
Yeah, I would just like to thank legislators Wysocki and Patiri for urging us to update our work and updating, asking us to update data on local law on veterans tax exemptions. And I want to thank the rest of this legislature, as chairman of the chairman of the Veterans Committee, I want to thank the rest of the legislators here for voting aye on that resolution, updating those tax exemptions for our veterans. So I think it's one thing we can do as a community to say thank you to those veterans who have served, many of the sacrifices they made to serve. It's a small price that we pay to keep this country as free as it always was and always I hope will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Harrington. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, second? Seconded. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Make sure you get home safe. Take your time. And thank you again, Ms. Weaver.